Independence, the act of not relying on others for one's needs and necessities. Now, we as a society have decided that in order to survive in this world, one must be independent. Advertisements on the internet saying, be independent, or WikiHow articles saying 13 steps to become independent. We are so obsessed with this term, independence, but is it necessarily bad to rely on other people? I asked myself this 3 years ago, sitting in the empty bus staring at the big, beautiful skies of Seoul, South Korea. It was a quiet day. Students going to their classes, businessmen in their gray suits attending their workplaces. Just a normal work day. But it was summer vacation for me, and so while my uncle's family was gone to their respective places, I was alone. So I actually decided to do something with my life, and I went outside. I went outside instead of picking around the house like I normally would, and so I went to the mall. It was enormous. It was gigantic. There were shops selling bags, shoes, clothes, you name it. And so I spent a lot of my time there. Nothing really caught my eye, but then again, I couldn't buy anything even if it did. I was just a poor boy at the time. But I did spend a lot of time there. And by the time I got home, it was already like 9 o'clock, and as a young, good boy, I respected my curfews. And so it was 9 o'clock, and I was expecting to get beat or something by my uncle. But that never happened. In fact, they called me truly independent, as if shopping alone was some sort of personal accomplishment. But it seems to be that way. Especially in places like South Korea, there's a huge stigma surrounding the idea of dependency. Students are, at the age of 6, forced to take the bus to school, and parents don't seem to give their children any life advice, telling them, find out for yourself. And so adding that to their hectic academic lives, students were so stressed, and as a result of it, many crashed. So why is there a stigma surrounding one side of it with dependency, but not on the other extreme? Well, maybe there is a reason. We as a species are so obsessed with this idea of avoiding negative aspects, and so we draw a line between good and bad, that oftentimes we forget that having too much of something, whether good or bad, can lead to bad results in the end. Take sleep, for example. We all love a nice nap after a long day, but nap too long for days, weeks, months, even years, and you got yourself in a coma. They are both are very similar ideas, where you're resting, your body is resting to help yourself in the future, but you can obviously see the difference. So this is what I propose to be happening. This is a good ideal taken to the extreme. And there's also could be another reason. When we think of independent people our age, we don't think of someone going to the grocery store to buy groceries to survive for the week. No. We think of someone who is more outgoing, more adventurous, more talkative, social. So our perception of independence is really defined as what other people have told us about their independence and their freedoms. But how do you really want to be completely free? So let me ask a question to you all. How many of you have been home alone? For a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, more than that? While I don't go past 2 weeks myself, even those who survived a week would know the hardships of surviving alone. You have to do your homework. You have to work and prepare meals without any outside voices telling you what to do. And sometimes we do need that outside voice. And after a while, it's not as bad as first, but after a while, the loneliness starts setting in, and you find yourself talking to yourself about this and that, how your day went, how you have no friends, all of that stuff. So what am I trying to say here? Well, the question I'm trying to pose is, we all want complete freedom, but how free do you really want to be? Now, I'm not trying to trash independence, nor am I saying that you should completely just leech off your friends. That's a great idea. No. What I'm trying to say is that we should not rush ourselves into these ideals of independence. Because obviously independence has its good qualities. For example, it helps people control their fate. It enables children to get the experiences and qualifications they need for when they actually do need to become independent for their adult lives. There is a reason why I told my story. It's not all just boring. Don't worry about it. I actually have some fun stuff. Because getting off that bus on that sunny day in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea, mind you, it felt refreshing. I got to taste freedom for the first time in my life. And, well, the adrenaline was just kicking in, and next thing you know, I was exploring my world, and it was all just so great. And then I got lost. But at that point, it didn't really kick in. I mean, I was still just having the time of my life, just exploring. And it wasn't until later that I really realized that, crap, I was lost. And so you had this 12-year-old kid running around the streets of Seoul, South Korea, trying to find someone, anyone, who could spend their time to talk to me for 5 minutes, trying to find my home, where it was, because I was a clueless little kid at the time. But obviously, I'm here right now, so I did find my way back. But it wasn't easy. But from that experience, it really did enrich some of my skills. It helped me read maps. It allowed me to express myself in front of other people. And most importantly, it allowed me to stay calm, well, as calm as I can be, I guess, in a stressful situation. And so my point in all of this is that while independence is still a good thing, we should not force ourselves into progressing to there. However, I'm not discouraging yourself. You wrap yourself in bubble wrap and hide away watching Netflix. No. We can still take steps in order to begin our journey into independence. In fact, making the decision to become independent is a decision that will improve independence. So this is why I implore you, all of you, try to get a head start. Leave the house for once. Take off your blanket, close Netflix, go outside for once in your lifetime, and try getting lost, and try finding your way back. That'll help with your directional skills. Try working, maybe. It'll help your financial independence. Try everything again and again and again until you get better at it, because practice makes perfect. And that's very good. So what I'm saying is, while we shouldn't force ourselves into independence, why don't we get a head start? We're young, after all, and we can live our worry-free lives while we're at it. Because it's impossible to prepare for everything that life throws at you, but we can try our best to avoid it. Thank you.